So let's talk about soft-coded mindset. Soft-coded is just that. It is software that can be developed over time, and it should be. Okay. For myself personally, I hate losing more than I love winning. I am a feedback looper, probably like you. I'm looking for ways to win. And you know what I've noticed is that there are times where my behavioral style, my driving forces, my mindset that comes from that, sometimes that autopilot gets in the way with how I approach things. And sometimes I need to enhance my self-awareness, always need to enhance my self-awareness, and I need to become conscious of the decisions of how I communicate with other people, how I engage, and I do so. And that's the soft-coded mindset. And in particular, I hack my normal mindset loop, my normal voice in the head loop that I might use for myself if I'm on autopilot, and I watch the negative self-talk. So I'm going to share some book ideas here with you. Check these books out. If you find some really good books or good resources out there, I'd appreciate a comment. I'd appreciate even a phone call or drop me an email. Book number one, and I've got several. I'm going to share the best ones here with you. Some of them I don't actually have a copy here with, but I'll put them down down below in the notes section here. But book number one, Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. This is actually the companion book. You probably saw that. This is a book that lit my fire initially about the voice in the head. And agreement number one is be impeccable with your word. Do not use your word against yourself. So in the old days, I might say, Chris, sometimes you're so stupid, okay? And guess what? I rarely do that now because I know that when I use my word against myself, it rips down my mojo, it gets in the way, it slows me down, and I don't want that. A more recent version of the Four Agreements is a powerful book called The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz, and actually his son. Check it out. Life before, life after. When you start realizing that everybody's got this dream state that they're in, that's a function of some of the things I've already shared, their behavioral style, their driving forces, their life experiences. When you start realizing that, you'll learn to take it less personally. By the way, don't take anything personally. It's one of the 5 agreements. So a more recent book, Can't Hurt Me, by David Goggins. David Goggins is a Navy SEAL, an incredible human being, powerful story about perseverance. And I'm not going to do it justice by sharing the little bit that I'm going to share about his thought processes. And by the way, check him out on YouTube. Check out his interviews. Uses a lot of profanity in the book and in the audio, but it's powerful testimony to seeking discomfort, seeking the opportunity in everything, and purposely putting ourselves in situations that challenge us. And it's a really good thought process. It's a thought process that I appreciate. The next book, I don't have the copy with me here right now, but it's called The Inner Game of Tennis by Galway. Again, Amazon.com, check it out. Powerful book. I just got my hands on this and I've actually read it twice and listened to it twice. It's that good. You know how when you listen to a song for the first time on the radio and you think to yourself, this is going to be a good song? That's what I knew when I read and I actually heard about before the Inner Game of Tennis. The Inner Game, there's basically self 1 and self 2, and the author takes us through how to shut down self 1 and really focus on our natural potential, our natural the natural way that we are if we just allow ourselves to get out from underneath that negative self-talk of voice or of self 1, voice 1. Okay, a couple of others. I love reading about how other people have overcome challenge, and this powerful book, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, is a collection by Napoleon Hill, and if you haven't heard of him, you need to. That book's been out for decades, but it's a powerful book that shares testimony on how the greats, some of the greatest minds out there, the greatest inventors, presidents, etc., some of our industrialists, how they thought and how they persevered. Many of them were just normal people like you and I, but by the way that they handled their thinking and their approach, they persevered. So another powerful book is The QBQ, The Question Behind the Question by John Miller. Ran into this book about 16 years ago, and John Miller is a genius. It's a 45 to 50 minute read, and it has 3 distinct patterns of thinking and language, both spoken and as well as mental language, that's just powerful. I've learned so much about how to improve a situation and how to take charge in a situation by using his language patterns. And I'm not going to share them here because you got to get the book. And if you get the book, you're going to learn them and you're going to read them, and you're going to marinate in them, etc. Another more recent book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. James Clear he's a freak. Check out his website, jamesclear.com. Absolutely powerful information there. But we are all a product of our habits, and this really powerful, timely book helps you identify how to shape your own habits. And his website has a lot of well-researched information on it that you're going to find that's very applicable. So you also find that he puts small bibliographies and reference sources at the bottoms of every one of his articles so that you can research further as desired. Powerful stuff. And then last, but really not last, there's many more, but the last that I want to share here for today is Stoicism. This is actually the Daily Stoic by Stephen Hanselman. Tim Ferriss introduced me actually to really focusing on James Clear's content and consuming his content, but also Stoicism. Okay, and Ryan Holiday, he's actually mentioned in this book. Ryan Holiday wrote a book called The Obstacle is the Way. I don't have a copy here on me right now, but The Obstacle is the Way. It's thought process on how Stoics approach problems, how they approach challenges. And the big thing, the couple of big things I would say about Stoicism, it's really about controlling what I can control, and then understanding and being curious about the nature of people and situations, and being more objective and not taking things so personally.